Live Alive is probably one of those games that you don't expect to be talking about in 2022, let alone being announced for the Nintendo Switch in 2022. If you're not aware of the history behind this game was released on the Super Famicom almost 30 years ago, and we are now just getting it in America on the Nintendo Switch. Hi, my name is Monado Max, and today we're going to be talking about Live Alive, giving you my thoughts on the game and much more. So let's just get right into it. Live Alive is another entry into the famous 2D HD game engine that Square Enix made back for the Octopath Traveler game that released on the Nintendo Switch back in 2018. We've seen many games start to use this engine, such as Triangle Strategy, Live Alive, and soon to be Dragon Quest III. This engine is beautiful. It is perfect for 2D games. I hope to see eventually all 2D games use this engine that's an RPG type game. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does that matter with the HD 2D system? This engine is perfect for Live Alive. With the amount of different chapters that's in Live Alive, the HD 2D engine has made that series of chapters look so beautiful. You can be in a futuristic scene and it just looks so colorful, so vibrant. It fits for a game like Live Alive. And it just makes me excited to see what Square Enix does in the future with the 2D HD system, as it's something that's going to be eventually huge. It's already pretty huge, but dude, we're gonna see so many games using this, kinda how like Capcom made the Resident Evil engine, the RE engine, whatever it's called. I like to call it the Resident Evil engine. We're seeing a lot of Capcom's games using that engine. I have a feeling we're gonna be seeing many more from Square using the wonderful 2D HD engine. Now, we talked about chapters. Every game usually has some sort of form of a chapter system if it has a story mode in it. Live Alive does have a chapter system, but it's definitely very unique. Now, Live Alive is one of those games that the concept of it doesn't sound great until you actually play it. I'm about to tell you why. You play 7 different characters in Live Alive. 7 different chapters, 7 different storylines. And when I say different storylines, there is some crazily different storylines in this game. There's a prehistoric chapter in this game, and then there's a future chapter in this game. This game's unique because of all the amount of different stories that's in this. Different characters, 7 different stories. Now, one thing that I think is incredibly unique about this game is the way that it just has so much difference. You have the Wild West in there. You can act like you're Arthur Morgan and be awesome in the Wild West. Be a caveman if you want to be that. With the prehistoric chapter, which honestly did not like the prehistoric chapter. That's going to be a hot take from what I'm hearing, but didn't like that chapter. But my whole point is, with this game, there is so much different stories, so much different content in this game that makes it very unique, and I am a big fan of that. The concept of that doesn't sound good until you actually play it. Now, something that I want to talk about with this game that I feel makes this such a wonderful game is going to be the game's length. For RPG games like Live Alive, I feel like it's safe to say most of these type of games are looking over 50 hours long. I am happy to tell you that Live Alive is pretty much a 16 to 20 hour game depending how you play it. Because there's some chapters in there that you can purposely choose to take forever depending how you play. Or if you want to rush it like me, you can beat it in about 16 hours, maybe even less. I feel that a lot of the times with at least the people that I'm around, I don't know if this is going to be for everybody, but I am around a lot of people that want to play games like Live Alive, but don't because of how long these type of games are. Let's look at a game like Persona 5. It's a way different game, but it follows the same RPG type of genre that people fall in love with. Persona 5 is a 90-hour game, just a base vanilla model. I don't know how long Persona 5 Royale is. Let's just be real, a lot of people don't have that time. And I have so many friends that wanted to play games like Xenoblade, Persona, Octopath Traveler, all those type of games, but can't because of the time commitment. They have so many other things to do. They don't want to be stuck on a game forever and then miss out on other games. A game like Live Alive is perfect for them because they can play an RPG game, they can play a 2D HD game, and beat it within 20 hours less. I know a lot of people probably don't like how short Live Alive is, but I think for the purpose of thinking about the other players out there that want to play games like this, I'm very happy that this exists. I can actually go out and buy an RPG game for my friends that actually want to play stuff like this. Because unfortunately, we don't get much of that. The closest thing that we get to that for those players are Pokemon. And I think that might be why Pokemon is so big, because you don't have to put so much time into it like other RPG games. I don't want to go too much into the story, but there's 7 different stories in here, and there is definitely something for everybody within Live Alive if you're looking for a story-driven game. There's a few stories in here that I was not about, but there's actually some really good storylines in here. One that I loved, I thought was crazy unique for a video game, the gameplay that they implemented, because again, they have the same battle system for each chapter, but there's different forms of gameplay in each chapter. You can go like a stealth mode ninja to be running from monsters that are trying to kill you, to setting up traps. Each chapter has unique gameplay, and I think that this game, in terms of different gameplay styles, this is an incredible game for that. Again, the battle system is the same, but when you're not in battles, there is different gameplay options in the stories of their chapters, for Live Alive. Listen, there's another reason why you should buy Live Alive. If you're not a fan of these type of games, but are a big Nintendo Switch collector, or just a big fan of the Switch in general, and want to one day own a collection like this, you definitely want to pick up this game, because I am pretty sure there's a strong chance we're gonna see this game end up like Devil's Third over there. I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's going to be a very expensive Switch game in about 10 years. From my experience to going to other retailers, this game, not many copies have shipped. Not many people are actually talking about Live Alive. So if you actually want to be one of those people that have played a game that nobody else played, Live Alive is perfect for that. Anyways, my whole point is, this is going to be a rare Switch game, and you definitely are going to want this in your Switch collection if you're a Switch collector, because you're going to regret it, because it's going to end up being an expensive title. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this game. I've been very positive about the game. I honestly can't find many negatives within the game. My only negative is a lot of the really interesting stories that I found within the game, like the Wild West, was a very short chapter. I found the gameplay of that, the storyline of that chapter, very interesting, and I was actually kind of disappointed to find out that the chapter was less than an hour. That would probably be my only complaint, but that goes back to the whole length of this game being perfect. I can't really complain too much about that since I've talked about how great the length of the game is. Now, I am going to talk about something spoiler here, so make sure to skip ahead. My editor is going to put a timestamp right here where you can skip ahead to continue the review so you don't see this spoiler, because we're going to dive deep into major spoilers just for this segment. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't get to beat this game. I got through the 7 stories, but what I've not told you is that there's an 8th character that is playable, an 8th story. And the reason why I've not been able to beat this game, one, I have a full-time job, and second, the day I'm recording this video, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is about to release for the Nintendo Switch. And I need to put my focus on that game, because I want to make a very special video on that game. I tried my hardest to beat this game. I would have probably put more time into it if I had realized there was an 8th chapter, but you don't get access to this 8th chapter till you actually beat all the other chapters. I am going to go back to this game because I had a lot of fun with this game. I just didn't have the time to beat it because once Xenoblade comes out, I'm sorry, that's going to be my priority. I'm Monado Max. That has to be my priority. But it's a nice surprise, I guess, to see another chapter. I have no idea what that chapter is because I rage quitted last night when I found out there was a whole nother chapter because my editor told me it's 4 more hours, pretty much. I'm sorry. I want to play it. I want to be able to beat it because I've enjoyed the game. But I've put so much work into actually beating this game, that way I could actually do a video review on this, that I didn't want to go have all my work go to waste, so I'm doing this here. Now, I want to know what the future of this engine is going to be. What games are we going to see use this engine? We're obviously getting Dragon Quest 3 very soon. I don't know if there's a release date, but I know they've already confirmed that Dragon Quest 3 is going to be using that engine. I want to know if we're going to see Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger is like the perfect game for this engine to be worked on. I want to be able to play Chrono Trigger, but I don't want to spend an arm and a leg to play that game. Square, it's time for you to release Chrono Trigger. If you're not going to put in the 2D HD engine, at least re-release it somehow for the Switch players to play it, because again, I'm not spending, I think the game's like $1,000 now. I'm not spending $1,000 to play a Super Nintendo game. Square, do it. I mean, there's other games out there that they could use this engine for, like the older Final Fantasies. I don't know, I'm actually kind of interested to see, like, jumping on this video, when I look back in a few years, like 2027, when I watch this video, I really wonder how many games we've gotten / announced for this engine. Because we saw this engine in 2018, and we got 3 games released. We already got 3 games released. We've got 2 games that actually released this year for this engine. We had the Triangle Strategy game, and then we had LIVEALIVE. So we're going to soon see probably 2 2D HD engine games come out a year. I'm pumped to see the future of this engine. I'm pumped to play more of LIVEALIVE whenever I can get to that point. But you're probably asking yourself, Max, do you recommend this game? What do you give the score? What is your thoughts? All of that. First of all, I highly recommend this game. It's only $50. It's not a full price Nintendo Switch game. And I think it goes to the point of, it's not a full Switch game. It's like 20 hours, depending how you play. So that's probably where the $50 price tag comes in. But it's worth every dollar. Every penny, actually. It's worth every penny. It was a very fun game. I think I would honestly give it a 8 out of 10. Now, I was very positive, but again, I think my negatives that I don't think should be negatives is the fact that some of these really interesting stories were so short that I wanted to see more of that rather than, honestly, the prehistoric chapter. The prehistoric chapter was over 2 hours, and I'm sorry, I wasn't interested in that. It was funny, but there was far more interesting stories that they could have gone with. I think the prehistoric chapter would have been perfect as a 30-minute chapter, but hey, I'm not a developer. I don't know what they do. I swear, do your thing. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you going to pick up LIVEALIVE? Have you already picked it up? What is your thoughts on the game? I want to know all that in the comments down below. Make sure to / that subscribe button, like the video, check out the Twitter, check out the Discord, check out podcasts I'm a part of, check out everything. By the time this video comes out, I already have my new logo. I kind of want to know what you guys think of the logo, but at the same time, I don't care, but I still want to know. A lot of people have told me how they don't like the logo, but I like the new logo. Trent put the image of the logo. Do not make fun of the logo, Trent. Anyways, guys, I will see you all in the very next video. By the time this comes out, I'll be playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I can't wait. Oh my god. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.